Hello everyone, this is LW Gaming and welcome back for another video of Sword of Convallaria. I almost said Languisher for some reason, but anyways, there are actually a lot of things we need to talk about. So for one, the collab with Delicious in Dungeons has officially concluded. So yep, if you missed them already, then yeah, you have my condolences because these characters are not coming back, and they're not going to be on any of the off banners. So just be aware of that. So that means Marcel, Phelan, and Senshi are now locked away. If you don't have them already, but fortunately for me, I got them before they disappear, and I'm still sharding them to this day. So there's Marcel right there. I also have Senshi. And finally, I have Phelan. Now, all three of the characters that are like limited time, I got all three of them, which is pretty neat. And also, the other three that were in the story, they're not playable, unfortunately. Although I kind of wish they are, but I mean, sometimes collaboration deals only bring 3 units at least. Like this also applies to Languisher, by the way, if you're wondering. So let's look in events and see what are we expecting, or what's been added or removed. So we got a new Tarot Whispers. New Tarot Whispers, I think that's what they call it, but oh no, the connection's error. Okay, there it goes. So there's now like an extra reward chance for the Tarot Residual. Yep, so basically now you have one additional chance for you to get yourself a tarot for your characters. Pretty neat. And also there's like a quest going on here where clear the difficulty level 30 stage of Tarot Whisper, I mean. And then level 40 stage and so on. As you can see, if you're able to clear all of these, you can pretty much get the rewards listed on there, like a stamina potion as well as some goodies. There's also the event going live right now, where you had to give the players these things to give yourselves like the rewards shown here. As you can see, these are all the rewards that are available. And funny enough, all these are tarots, which is pretty nice, don't you think? Because it is fitting the theme of the other event. And I'm gonna send some of my things over to the ones that have sent me the gifts in advance. There you go, enjoy. I think I'll give it to you. Oh, okay, you already got the blue ones. Alright, that's fine. Looking for, okay, this one. Let me give you one of each. There we go, and then claim these. Okay, what now? Oh, right, okay, I forgot about that one. Yep, that's all the events there. And another thing let's look at are the banners. So there's a new debut banner going on right now. Let's see what is the new debut this time around. Is there even a debut here? Actually, there isn't any new characters, but rather a, actually, wait, this is a new character. I didn't notice that. So, anyways, this is Samantha. You might be thinking, wait, didn't we have Samantha before? But no, this is the new version of Samantha, the one that you're seeing in the Fool's Journey, where she has a demeanor of like leading the Papal States forward. Yeah, this is SP Samantha, by the way. You might be wondering about that. If you see this symbol, that means this is the SP version of the previous character. And not just that, not only we got the SP Samantha, the OG Samantha is also available for you to get if you don't have her previously. So yeah, you can go either way. You can go for Samantha, the original one, or the SP Samantha, which you see here, the one with the mask on. And also alongside this banner, there's also a Astral Imprint banner. This will be featuring her, the SP Samantha's weapon, as you can see here. That includes the mask and the staff. And let's see what do we have for Samantha here. So SP Samantha, this is what she does initially. This is what he looks. This is what she look at 1 stars, without the mask on, of course. And this what he looks like when she is 5 stars. And as for the factions, she's part of Propel States, which makes sense because that's where she's originally from, of course. The regular Samantha is there, as well as the new Samantha, which is SP. And another faction she's part of is Aggression. I think Aggression, yeah, Samantha's also in here too, which is pretty nice. Which is pretty nice to know. Now let's talk about what kind of trait and skills she has. So the trait that she has is called Judgment of Justice. Increases max HP and M attack by 16%. Before attacking, inflicts Judgment Brand for 2 turns. When the character attacks targets with Judgment's Brand, increases crit by 50%. At the start of battle, grants Radiant Watch until the start of the next turn and expands the Radiant Watch aura effect to the entire battlefield. At the start of the turn, recovers 1 NRG. Ooh, pretty nuts if you think about it. And then at the end of the turn, triggers the Judgment Strike effect. Deals 30% magical AoE damage to enemies with Judgment Brand in battle. Then dispels 1 buff. When the character has Radiant Watch, increases damage multiplier to 100%. This effect does not inflict Judgment Brand, so keep that in mind. So overall, I think this character is pretty nuts if you think about it. Like you did play a bit of her in one of those Fool's Journey, and I gotta say she is something to look after. But we weren't sure if we are gonna get this version until we got it now, which is as a form of SP. And these are her class skills. So this skill is called Oath to End All Evil. This one deals 220% AoE damage to enemies within 5 tiles of the character for each additional enemy hit. It reduces skill multiplier by 30% to a minimum of 100%. Then dispels 3 buffs on the target and grants the character Radiant Watch until the start of the next 2 turns. So this skill is powerful, but if you hit multiple enemies, it's not going to be as powerful as you would think. And yes, this is AoE damage, technically, but if the less units you hit with this, the more effective this can be. Sounds pretty off, don't you think, for an AoE skill to be like this, but there's some kind of mechanic like this in other games, like, Clash Royale, for example, with the Void Spell, which not many people use nowadays because of how tricky to use and how difficult it is to use it, despite the cost not so expensive. But anyways, it's a similar thing with this game's like for SP Samantha's skill, where the more units on there in the AoE is not gonna do as much damage, something like that. So for the best use of this skill, try to hit as less of the enemies as possible. Otherwise, you're not gonna do as much. And next one we got Judgment Sanctum. It's an instant skill. Dispels 2 buffs on all enemies within 5 towers of the character, and grants the character Radiant Watch until the start of the next 2 turns. Then performs Force Alert, and this cannot be interrupted in the area. Dealing 50% magical AoE damage to enemies within a 1 tile radius of the target and interrupt their turn. Can be triggered up to 3 times per round. So anyways, the Radiant Watch, I forgot to mention this, so this is what it shows here. So when gained repeatedly, the duration stacks all allies within 5 tiles of the character, gain aura effect. At the end of the turn, dispels 1 debuff and grants Radiant Blessing for 2 turns. For all aggression and Propel State allies, before attacking with class skill, inflict Judgment Brand on the enemies for 2 turns. So this is like a two things. Like basically you will you like dispel 1 debuff on yourself and gain Radiant Blessing for 2 turns, and also this is treated as a faction buff, but only applies if you're using class skills. And when you're using class skills, you'll inflict Judgment Brand on them. And also she does have like a Force Alert, which will be handy because this is the one skill that can actually interrupt their turn if they move into the radius. Next up we got is the is Prayer of Devotion. Instant skill, heals all allies within within 3 tiles of the character for 30 of M attack, and grants them 1 stack of Radiant Shine, anti-heal immunity, and bound resistance for 2 turns, and grants the character Radiant Watch until the start of the next 2 turns. So this skill is a powerful heal. That not just a healing skill. This can be used instantly. But however, you do need to wait for 3 turns before you can use it again. And it's a 1 NRG cost. I forgot to mention about that. Same thing with Judgment Sanctum. 3 cooldown, 1 cost NRG. And then the Oath to End All Evil, which will be 3 for both cooldown and NRG. So yeah, this skill is really powerful for like a healing skill, of course, because not only you heal, you also give them anti-heal immunity, which means that if they're gonna get heal blocked, it's not gonna work when that is active. And next up we got is Fire Purification. This is a 3 cost NRG. There's no cooldown for this. Deals 150% AoE damage to all enemies within 1 tile of the target. Inflicts Bound Vision 1 down and move 1 down for 2 turns. And transforms tiles within range into burning for 2 turns. So you might think, what does Bound Vision 1 means? So Bound Vision is a debuff and is a controlled disruption. Reduces the max range of ranged skills by 1 tile. We move after an active attack. Okay, so that's what it means. So basically, when you inflict a debuff like this, their attack range is going to get reduced. So I could imagine anybody that uses a melee attack, they probably won't be able to attack with this on there. So yeah, that's going to be nasty. I think this is the first time a new character introduced this kind of debuff. I may be wrong because this is kind of nothing new if you take it as if you were playing Languisher before, because there's at least few characters that can reduce the range of the enemy. Like for example, there's a collab character known as Two Girl Bros. They have like a passive which will cause the enemy attacker to lose 1 range, and that could mess up their attack. And that's kind of like a disruption or something. And also J and C could do that too with their 3C, which will reduce their range by an AoE attack. Pretty nasty if you think about it. And finally we got a reaction skill called Indestructible Faith. When having 3 NRG, triggers resolve upon defeat. When triggered, consumes 3 NRG to recover 100% HP. Can be triggered up to 2 times per battle. So this one basically allows her to survive much better, because for one, as long as you're having 3 NRG on herself, she's gonna be able to revive herself with 100% HP. But be warned that this can only be activated 2 times per map or battle. So after that second time, this skill will not be able to save you. So keep that in mind. Now let's try her out in the character trials and see what she's about. Defeat all enemies, will lose if all allies are defeated. Okay, let's do that. Okay, let's see what we have here. You traitors to the Radiance, there is nowhere to run now. The Radiant guides our souls. It shouldn't be a tool for power. We'll stand by this belief, even unto death. Stubborn heretics, have it your way. None of you will survive. Stop! Everyone, get behind me. Lady Samantha! Samantha! A judge of the Convallaria state should never protect heretics. Traitor! You don't deserve to be called a judge. I am the Radiance's judge. I have never betrayed it. It's you who used its name to crush opposition and persecute innocent believers. You're the one staining the radiance. Staining the radiance. Then in the Hierophant's name, I'll purge you along with these heretics. I'll cleanse darkness and protect the people. My duty as judge demands it. Samantha has a wide area alert skill, Judgment Sanctum, which interrupts targets when triggered. Alright, let's do it. Alright, force alert, and then we'll use Light Sanctum on these three. Or two targets, I mean. Okay, yeah, when they move, they'll get interrupted. Gain skill Oath to End All Evil. It grants Samantha wide area attack capability. Attack grants Judgment Brand to targets, and at the end of the turn, all enemies with this effect take damage. Yeah, that'll do. Wow, look at that. How terrifying is that? I must admit, your skills truly stands out among judges. No wonder the Hierophant once trusted you so deeply. You may save these few, but can you protect every last one of them? Attack! Watch out! The enemy set up an ambush! I will never let you harm innocent believers. Some of Samantha's skills grants her Radiant Watch, which provides an aura effect for all allies. Propel States and Aggression allies also inflict Judgment Brand after attacking. Use this feature to expand Samantha's damage range at the end of the turn and hit more enemies. Okay, let's see what we have here. I think we'll first do it right here. Can we hit everyone here? No, except for that one. Okay. How about right here? Yep, that'll do. And then I'm going to inflict this skill here, or wait, no, not here. Right here, this will hit everyone. Impossible! How can you attack those not even in front of you? The power of Radiance shields them. Impossible! The Radiance would never favor heretics. You defile the Radiance. I'll destroy you all. Don't even bother to attack me. Even if you defeated me, you'll never change the Papal State's rule. This flame will eventually be extinguished. This flame of change won't die out. It started in the area and will spread southward until it lights a new dawn under Radiance's guidance. Oh, that's it. And if you follow all these steps, you should be able to clear this no problem. So yeah, how I feel with this character, pretty insane if you think about it, because like you can actually hit all enemies even if they're not in range, which is absurd if you think about it. If this was done in PvP, then I don't know if anyone could avoid that, but wow. So yeah, that's Samantha for you. But unfortunately, I won't be pulling for this because my amount of resources doesn't really favor here. So I'm just gonna leave it at that for now. Maybe in the future I'll get my hands on her, but I don't know because I've already spent for the collab, and I don't think I'll be able to do more for this banner. So yep, that's it from me today. So I hope you'll find this video helpful or informative, and I'll see you all next time for more.